there's relief for investors as markets open in green. Sensex rises 1,300 points at 75,000. Nifty also up 430 points, reaches 22,000. Sakshi Batra getting in some good news this morning. Sakshi, a couple of days it's been okay. Markets open in the green today as well, and there is some relief. We were talking about the dust settling. Do you think the dust has, at least for the time being, settled? Sakshi.
On tariffs is definitely leading into some good news for Indian investors at large. We can see a sea of green, something that was evading us for a long haul in the Indian stock markets. And you can see all the sectors of the Nifty up into the green today. Metals, auto, pharma, IT, all of those that were being seen as huge, whipping boys of the tariff talk. All of them are showing up in trade today as a relief after this 90-day pause has come into effect. Now, definitely, for some time, Indian government will have the time to negotiate better when it comes to tariffs, and we will have some certainty going forward from here. That's what the markets really want. Markets hate uncertainty. One day something, the other day something else. And that's why we've been seeing all across volatility in the Indian stock markets over the last few days. Now what you see is that 90 days, we have the time to think through all the possibilities, and we will be negotiating better for us. 26% tariff is not yet implemented on India. There is a base 10% tariff that has been implemented worldwide by the US. What's also as an advantage, remember, China has been facing this 145% of tariff. That also signs that India will be advantaged. Our China plus one strategy will again come back into focus. Remember, when two of the largest economies in the world are at loggerheads with tariffs, this potentially also hints at there could be a trade freeze between US and China. Now, what will happen? There could be some negative impact because on global trade as well. But there could also be a silver lining for India. People could be looking back at India as a China plus one strategy. Manufacturing could shift here. More and more exports from India to US could actually be a possibility. Remember, last few days we've also seen how Apple has airlifted so many tons of Apple phones from China just before the tariffs were to be implemented. That could also come back to India as an alternate at this point in time because we are in a better position. 145% tariff is not at all sustainable. Of course, things could also change on that aspect. But as the given situation is, India is on a better footing, and that's what the Indian investors are sharing with the markets today.
All right, Sensex jumping, in fact, 1,400 points. The stock market rallying, and it has clearly lit up our screens and lifted our moods as well. I'm going to go back now to Sakshi to tell us a little more about which are the stocks doing extremely well. Of course, investors are, in fact, will be advised to tread carefully through this. I would say maybe, the risk of sounding very negative, maybe a temporary pocket of optimism, isn't it, Sakshi?
Absolutely. You see, look at how the metals are rallying. There's a 4% kind of an up move today. Remember, metals are a global story. This was, clearly losing all the sheen over the last few days. We've been seeing how global demand dampening could have impacted. But look at Tata Steel, JSW Steel, all of these stocks are hovering higher. Even the pharma stocks, 3.5% up. Remember, it was being seen as how Donald Trump pointed out that pharma is next going to be on radar. They're going to be putting tariffs as never seen before on pharma. And pharma stocks were definitely lagging behind, were crashing over the last few days. That's also coming back into focus. Sun Pharma, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, all of these stocks are coming back into focus. The other third sector is the auto sector again. Remember, Tata Motors had indicated that they are stopping shipping of JLR to the US because of the tariffs. Now, all of those situations could actually change yet again. Tata Motors need not take such a hasty decision at this time. Stock is rallying. Auto ancillaries.
Right, Sakshi getting in those details.